Hey everybody, what is going on? It's Brian with you from TheGameCommon, and we are watching some more AI battles in Civ 6. So the series ended up coming to an end in the last episode simply because the game bugged out. I think what ended up happening is because the player I was playing as, India, got defeated. It transferred ownership to Genghis Khan, but I basically could no longer stop the map, and it just, like, I tried loading it in today and nothing really happened with it. So I decided to go ahead and make another game, and we're going to keep these same players. In the future, I'm probably going to switch these up a little bit, but I want to give them basically one more chance. This time we're going to be playing on a Pangaea map. We're doing Prince difficulty again, so no one gets any bonuses. We are going to do online game speed, so it speeds it up a little bit. I'm also going to do abundant resources, so essentially everyone should have plenty of access to resources, and we do have a balanced start. So hopefully, you know, no one's going to find themselves falling behind because they just don't have any resources. We're going to have every victory condition turned on, and we're once again doing a small map. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and hit start game. If you care about the seed, there it is. But we're going to go ahead and start game, and I'll pop in as soon as we get started. So I mentioned this in my Mapuche campaign, but for the time being, I'm going to end up having to rotate all of my series. So essentially this one and my Mapuche campaign are going to be on rotation. Basically, I am moving while I'm moving my wife in like a couple days. So next weekend, I'm going to have very little time to record, and most of my evenings are going to be filled with packing and all that kind of fun stuff. So at least until we finish our move, I'm only going to be doing one series a day, so it's going to be a little crappy from that standpoint, but I promise as soon as we finish the move, I'm planning on getting back into recording 2, maybe even 3 series a day. We're going to have to see, plus streaming I'm planning on doing as quickly as possible. So here is the layout of the world. It looks like we have a ton of city-states actually up to the north, which may actually give a advantage over here to India, and Sanjay Gupta, I think is how you say it. I've been trying to pronounce my names better. I've gotten quite a bit of hits on my pronunciation, so I'm trying to get it better. I mentioned it in my Mapuche campaign, so hopefully it's better. So down to the south, we actually have Georgia right on the borders of Netherlands, so that's going to be really interesting. Mongolia is actually there as well, and then we have Mapuche down here, and Mapuche is actually in a pretty decent spot, I think, because they have quite a bit of expansion over here. Then we have Brussels, which is kind of just hanging out down there, and then Korea is down south. They have a very bad starting city because of all the tundra, but they immediately have a second settler up. Interesting. And they have quite a bit of room to grow. And then Zulu has all this area. Oh, actually no, Korea's over here. Alright, so this is a pretty interesting map. Scotland, who I have to say may be one of the weakest civs. I don't know. Every time I've watched Scotland, they seem to have got their butt kicked. They actually have probably the best starting position. If I had to pick anyone, I would have to pick Scotland. They have 2 city-states up here. They have another city-state there. They do have Korea down here, but Korea is not that heavily strong, I guess, when it comes militarily, so they're going to have quite a bit of room to explore. Remember, we are doing on online speed, so this is going to go pretty freaking quick, so we'll have to see. We already have an India scout being attacked, probably from the Barbarian scout, if I have to imagine. Ooh, and Mongolia is under very early pressure here from barbarians, and that might actually be very bad for them. Because they're rolling around with 2 warriors, and they're going to have to deal with 2 horsemen and a freaking horse archer. So that's going to be interesting. Oh, well, they do have another warrior down there, but they're kind of out of position. It looks like Amsterdam did just take that barbarian encampment, so they're going to be okay there. The city-state, or sorry, city-state's actually being attacked by the barbarian invasion. And all their units are up here killing these guys. All right, well, there you go. What else is happening? India did finish a early wonder, so let's pop over here and let's see what they finished. They finished the Hanging Gardens pretty early on. All right, good for them. For the most part, I don't think we're going to see any early wars because it seems like everyone's pretty spread out, so I don't anticipate too many early wars. Wow, Korea is about to throw down its 3rd city, however. Let's see, the Mapuche do have 2 cities. And they might be the only other ones with 2 cities besides Korea. So Korea has definitely jumped out to an early lead. Okay, Zulu also has 2 cities, and the Korea do have 2 cities as well. Unfortunately for the Korea, they're in a very weak early spot, so We'll have to see how much that plays out. Now, the one thing I do have to mention, I did have someone mention, or at least let me know, hey, when I stop the autoplay, what I've been doing is I've been actually giving, I've been revealing the entire map, which is actually giving a massive advantage to whoever I'm playing as. Well, it's an advantage and a disadvantage. Number one, it's giving them an advantage because they're immediately revealing all of the world wonders, or all the natural wonders. Now, the downside of that is that means they're not going to be able to, well, so basically we're going to give them a really big boost to their error score right now if we reveal all, because they're going to be able to see all of the wonders, natural wonders, and then they're also going to be able to see all the continents and all of the players. So they're going to get a massive boost, but it's actually going to make it harder for them in future eras. So I am at this point going to try to not reveal all, at least until the map progresses a little bit further. So I just wanted to stop the game and just kind of mention that. Okay, so it actually seems like they are at war with Amsterdam, with the Netherlands? Maybe. Or are they just exploring because they're dealing with the barbarian invasion? I don't know. This might be an early invasion. We also have a Netherlands slinger here, which is also weak. Mongolia declared war on the Netherlands. Well, there you go. Are they going to be able to take over the Netherlands? Perhaps if they move their entire force down here. Netherlands are actually really, really weak early on. They only have 2 warriors. So this is pretty interesting. They also have Georgia expanding over here. The Netherlands are in a really bad spot right now. I have to admit that. Over here, India has quite a bit of room to grow, but they have not grown as of yet, which is a bit scary for them. We do have Korea now with 3 cities. Scotland does have their 2nd city up, but they're about to take on Zanzibar, so they will have a 3rd city there. Zulu does have a little bit of an invasion to deal with, but they should be okay. Also, the Korea over here do have a few barbarians to deal with as well, but I think they shall be okay as well. Going back to Scotland, it appears that Mongolia's troops have been beaten down, but they actually have Amsterdam down to some low HP at this point. So if they do rotate the rest of their troops down here, they might be in a good spot. Here's the other potential issue. Mapuche is right here with 3 cities, and Mongolia still doesn't have a 2nd city up, so they could be in an awkward situation here if they're not careful. Now, if they can take over Amsterdam and they can throw down their city, they're going to be in an okay position at that point. Georgia is facing a horseman invasion, but they should be okay. They are going to throw down their 3rd city here before too long. Our city-states up here are hanging true. India is about to throw down a 2nd city, and it looks like they're about to launch an invasion, probably against Buenos Aires, it appears. They are moving quite a few troops in that direction. Scotland is preparing to throw down a 3rd city. Korea has 3 cities. They're about to throw down a 4th city, actually. And then we have Zulu over here. They are beating back the invasion. Slowly, they're getting enough troops. The Cree are actually down here, and they are extremely weak. They're about to put the 3rd city down, but they just don't appear to have a lot of production because they just don't have that many troops. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. Now, back over here, Amsterdam has seemingly beaten back the Mongolian invasion. However, Mongolia did throw another city down right on their borders. And actually, keep in mind, that's also on Mapuche's borders, too. So this city right here is going to be hotly contested, I feel. Now, where's Georgia going to throw down? They ended up throwing down here to the south as well. Gori, I guess is how you pronounce that. They also have improvements burned down. They still have some barbarians on their borders. So Zulu finished a wonder, Zulu being way over here. And let's see what kind of wonder. They finished the pyramids. All right, so that gives them extra builder actions, which is actually going to be really important considering how many improvements there are because we have abundant resources. So the Cree did throw down their 3rd city. However, all 3 cities are massively, are all in the Arctic region. So that's going to be a rather interesting, well, it's going to be hard for them to climb out because they're just going to fall behind, I think, early on. Now, once again, Korea is about to throw out the 4th city. They still haven't yet. Let's actually stop the autoplay for now And let's see how many CIVS Mongolia has actually met, and see if we can actually get an idea of how the game is working its way. So we are still, well, Mongolia is still at war with Wilhelmina in the Dutch Empire. Now the question is, and they're actually friendly with everyone but Mapuche, so that's actually good to note. The Mapuche doesn't like them either. They are about to suffer loyalty? Yeah, they're actually about to flip the city. Wow. I wonder, they're not at war with Mapuche, so that must simply be because they put the city too far away, and they have two enemy capitals that are just pushing pressure on them. That is actually really interesting to note. As for actual eras, Mapuche is in a dark age, as is, oh, here's the other thing. Mongolia is actually also in a dark age. So we ended up flipping through eras pretty quickly here. Who's actually up here? So we have Robert the Bruce and we have Genghis Khan, who are actually high on tech, yet they're still suffering dark ages, I think. Yeah, it doesn't seem as if anyone actually got a golden age. As for actual world rankings and score, let's take a look at domination victory. The Scottish actually have the strongest military right now, it appears. India is also up there, and Georgia is also up there. Then we have Genghis, and Wilhelmina isn't too far behind, and Mapuche is also pretty far behind as well. So these three guys right here are actually pretty low when it comes to military forces, even though they are on the borders with everyone. Robert's also leading in the Scottish victory, and they're also leading in the science victory, which is interesting. So Korea is actually, I think, in second place, and I think in second place. I'm assuming this is probably Korea. Actually, this might be Zulu. This is probably Korea, if we're going to have to guess. Now, for the actual score victory, Chandragupta is actually in first place, tied with, I'm assuming it's going to be probably Korea and Zulu, and then Robert the Bruce not far behind. Genghis Khan is actually way far behind at this point, probably because he's about to lose his second city. So let's go ahead and start the autoplay back if the hotkeys want to work. There we go. Had to hit it like 10 times. So here's the interesting thing. He has a couple slingers and a lot of warriors. Netherlands are rolling around with some chariots. But then when you pop over here, you have a ton of freaking archers over here for Zulu. So you can see that they're actually pulling a little bit far away when it comes to technology. Let's see, Sundok has 3 cities, but they aren't super technologically advanced. The Cree, once again, they have a couple archers, but not too many. Scotland is the one that's actually pulling away and everything. And yeah, they actually have quite a few units right now. And here's the thing, I don't think they really had to fight anyone. They didn't have too many barbarian invasions, and they were just able to throw down their 3 cities pretty early. And it looks like they're probably going to end up taking on Geneva, I would have to imagine. Unless they ally. No, it actually looks like they have a trader out with Geneva. Which, alright, there you go. That's fine. I mean, that's going to give them more science, too, if they actually become the suzerain of Geneva, because remember, Geneva gives plus 15% science to any civ that is not at war that they're suzerain of. We still have barbarian horsemen freaking fighting Georgia, which is kind of hilarious at this point. Okay, so we did have... Ulaanbaatar is, I think, how you pronounce it. It actually flipped to a free city. And this is actually really, really good for Mapuche because they're really strong at taking free cities over. Now, Mongolia did throw down a second city, which we'll have to see if they can actually hold on to that one. What's really interesting is Netherlands has almost no room to grow. If they're going to grow, they almost have to grow over in this direction, but there is a barbarian encampment over there. So let's see, we have Netherlands currently fighting Ulaanbaatar. It actually appears that Mapuche is not actually even worried about them. They do have 3 cities down right now. And they have some... Zulu declared war on Cree. That's actually a very good note. Oh gosh, Cree. Yeah, this is kind of an awkward situation for the Cree. Number one, they're probably about to lose the settler. Straight away to the Zulu. Well, they might be able to get away. We'll have to see. They also don't have many defenses. Now, what's interesting about the Cree is they're super powerful early on because their scouts are actually just as powerful as the ancient warriors. However, Zulu's rolling around with a bunch of archers and spearmen at this point, so I don't know if they're going to be able to actually survive. Zulu does have 3 cities at this point. Scotland has 3 cities. They're about to throw down number 4. Korea actually has 4 cities, and they actually have a wonder. What was this one? This one is the Apadanda. It looks like. So Korea is doing what Korea does, and they're getting science, it appears, and trying to not be warlike. India is up here with 3 cities. I do not see a forced settler yet, so they're going to be at 3 cities for the time being. Mapuche is at 3 cities for the time being. Scotland actually took Ulaanbaatar from Mongolia after it became a free city. So that is really interesting to note. Mongolia had the early war, had a really good potential to actually take over Scotland, and ended up losing on that. So this is kind of unfortunate because once again, the player controlled, or rather the AI controlled player is not doing too hot. So we'll have to see. Hopefully they don't lose again for us. Over here, Georgia has 3 cities, and they still have quite a bit of invasion going on. As for our city-states, they are mostly still to the north, doing okay themselves. We do have 4 cities down now for Scotland. I'm intrigued to see, once again, they do seem to be allied with Geneva. I'm wondering if they're actually going to declare war on Kandy, or maybe India might actually declare war on Kandy. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is Korea and Scotland are sharing borders, but neither of them are particularly warlike, I don't think. I don't think Scotland is that warlike, so I know Korea is definitely not warlike, so we'll have to see how that one turns out. So the Kree capital is under siege right now. However, I don't think Zulu has enough military force to actually take it from them. They also seem to be spreading out a little bit too much. So Korea ended up finishing a wonder. Let's see if we can find out which one. They already had the Apadanda. Let's see if we can see the other wonder. Oh, here we go. The Oracle. So they ended up knocking out the Oracle. I forgot what the Oracle does in this one. I always remember the Oracle in Civ 5 because it was like my favorite wonder because it gave you a free tech. And I just absolutely always rushed the crap out of that one. Okay, so Mongolia is in a very awkward spot. They are looking to throw down their 3rd city, but they are still at war with Scotland. And, sorry, not Scotland, Netherlands. And Netherlands have completely flipped the script on it. Now, Mongolia does have some archers now, which is going to help them. And they are throwing out some spearmen, so they're probably going to be able to hold the invasion of the heavy chariots. However, it is pretty funny to see how much of a 180 this actually flipped. Down here with Mapuche, they're looking to throw out their 4th city. Unfortunately, they are facing a pretty serious invasion here with swordsmen and archers. They really don't have much that can actually fight against that. India is up here still with their 1-2 cities. That's it. Oh no, 3 cities. And it looks like they're actually going for the religious game, if I had to guess. I usually don't pay too much attention to the religions because it's kind of hard for anyone to actually win a religious victory. Maybe not for India because they're pretty centrally located on a pretty small map, so we'll have to see. As for Scotland, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 cities still down, and it actually appears like they may be going against Zanzibar? Zanzibar for trying to conquer that, which would be rather interesting. Ooh, snap. Okay. So out of nowhere, Zulu is actually putting a ton of pressure on the capital of the Kree. They also ended up, I'm assuming they probably took this settler from the Kree, because I don't see why they would bring a settler down that way. So it actually looks like the capital for the Kree is going to fall. Now, with that being said, are they going to finish off the Kree or are they going to leave them? The thing is, I don't imagine this city is particularly good for them. But if they do take the capital, they may be able to grab the other 2 cities pretty easily, and then they can focus eastward, and they have a pretty wide open area here to go. As for Korea, they still just have 4 cities down. It appears that they're actually fighting Brussels, or Brussels is actually fighting them. Here's the funny thing. One of their cities is actually falling pretty badly right now to Brussels. So what happens if a city-state actually takes a city? That's pretty freaking bad. Maybe even barbarians, they might be able to get a swordsman in there and actually take them on. That's actually pretty hilarious. So they're not doing too hot at this point. I think we should probably shut off the autoplay really quick and see if we can actually see some more of the score. I don't know why the hotkey doesn't always work. So Mapuche now has 4 cities down, and they have a bunch of room to grow to the west. So they are looking pretty freaking strong at this point. Once again, Wilhelmina is still fighting against Genghis, so Genghis is trying to catch up. They just don't have much of the military, and I'm imagining Genghis is probably in last place at this point. So as for a score victory, yeah, Genghis is falling pretty far behind. Now, if we had to guess scores here, one of these, oh no, these aren't Scotland, so who have we not met? So we have India, we have Scotland, we have the Dutch, we have Georgia, we have Mapuche. So we have Cree. So Cree has probably got to be this one right here. So then that means we have... Who's left? We still have India's... Korea's one of these two. Who's the other one? Zulu. I would have to say probably Zulu. Zulu's probably the one in first place, and I would imagine Korea's probably here. Mostly because Korea is actually suffering pretty badly right now. So for actual domination victory, I'm assuming Zulu's probably in first place. We got 316 army, 299, 170, 130. 125 isn't terrible. The one, I guess, redeeming fact for Genghis Khan right now is Mapuche is pretty weak as well. And then down here we have the Cree and we have Korea. I was like Cree and wait, who's the other one? Oh yeah, Korea. They sound the same. So as for science, it looks like Scottish. I wonder if Korea is actually pulling away. Probably seems that Korea is actually moving up there. No, it's actually, well, no. Now, well, we can't see her on that, so I'm assuming it's got to be Korea, because Korea always pulls away in science victories. So, pretty interesting note. We should take a quick look at eras. So you are still in you're in a normal age currently. And everyone else is in a normal age that we can see, except the Indian Empire, who is in a golden age. These three we can't see, so we don't know. And once again, that was Zulu, Cree, and Korea. So... I'm assuming Korea is probably in a... they have full loyalty, so they're probably in a normal age. I would assume Korea is probably in a dark age at this point. I don't know. Zulu, I'd have to think, is in a normal age as well. I mean, everyone is at max loyalty, it looks like, so... Now, Zulu did end up taking the Cree capital, and they're pushing in on the second city right now. And I don't think Cree is really going to be able to stop them, so this is probably the end of the Cree. As for Robert the Bruce... He does have a few soldiers. I still don't know what he's doing. They're mostly up here to the north, so I don't know what he's planning on doing. The scary thing is Candy here is rolling around with swordsmen, so if he does declare war, he does have one knight, but the swordsmen are going to do pretty decent work. Now, Brussels is still freaking beating the crap out of, let's see, Gangnam. I can't pronounce it. One's gonna have to actually help me pronounce that one. They do actually they do have one of their unique units though, so they may be okay. I mean, I doubt the city's gonna actually fall because they don't have any melee units, but still, that's pretty hilarious that they're losing right now to a city-state. Now, over here, Mapuche are actually getting their butts kicked right now from a barbarian invasion. There's still 2 swordsmen rolling around. They do have quite a few ships, but that's not gonna help them much. Georgia has a nice little area to grow over here, so I imagine Georgia's going to be able to flip the script, and they may actually be one of the surprise picks. Mongolia is suffering still, but they're about to throw down a 4th city. And here's the thing, if they can get a 4th city, and then maybe start taking some of these city-states, they're going to be in a pretty good position. India is working on Buenos Aires. They do have elephants, so I feel like they're probably going to be able to take on Buenos Aires, but still, that's going to hurt them quite a bit. They actually have a 4th city down, so they're working on their 5th. Scotland has 4. They have not yet declared war on any city-state. Instead, they're actually going to throw down a 5th city. Now, back down here, Zulu has taken 2 of the 3 cities from the Cree. I don't know if they're actually still at war. Georgia finished a wonder. Let's pop over here and see what wonder. You got the Great Library. Congratulations. So then Korea is back at full HP with all their cities at this point, and they're about to throw down a 5th city. Mapuche only have 4 cities, and they do not have a 5th settler. Amsterdam/Netherlands actually has 3 cities at this point, and they're slowly trying to get out of their cramped start. Mongolia, where did their 4th settler go? Did they lose their 4th settler? No. Yeah, it was, oh, he's way the heck up there. Wow, okay. All right, well, I think this is probably a pretty decent start for this episode, so we're going to go ahead and stop the autoplay. Once again, I'm probably, you know what I should actually do? What I should do is I should reveal everything and then reload the turn back before I reveal all. Yeah, that actually wouldn't be a bad idea, so that Mongolia doesn't get all the boosts, but it allows us to actually take a quick look at everyone. So yeah, I think we're gonna go do this. So we did just get the autosave for this. In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna save you really quickly. so we don't lose it. So let's save this and I can reload there. And then we're going to reveal all. Wait, is it slash reveal all? I forgot how it was. Is it reveal all 2 words?
Yosemite
It's all
Valley
2
to
words.
me
Okay,
is
so
always a song.
yeah, Yosemite. So okay, so he's gonna get a big boost. Let's take a quick look at the score. Shaka is currently leading in the score with India pretty close second and Korea pretty close third, ironically. The bottom, somehow Genghis Khan is still losing to Kree, even though Kree is down to 1 city and it's not even their capital. That's pretty bad, Genghis Khan. I just need to throw that one out there. As for domination, Zulu has a 509 military strength, which is putting everyone else to shame. Although Korea actually has a pretty decent military. I would have to imagine that they have a pretty decent military only because of their issues with Brussels. As for science, Korea is once again pulling away. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how good Korea is when it comes to science. They're also leading the culture victory as well. If we pop up here, we can see that Robert the Bruce is already in the Renaissance era. Korea? Where the heck is Korea? She's not listed on here. That's weird. Okay. Is she listed here? Yeah, she's listed there. So for whatever reason, she's not listed there. Okay, well, I think we're going to wrap this episode up. Be intrigued to see who you guys think is going to win. I mean, I think trendy pick is probably Korea, as always, just because their science victory. I think Zulu has a great chance because of their ability to expand over in this direction. But you know what? I'm going to pick India. I'm going to go with India. I think India has potentially a really good spot, only because they have all these city-states that they can actually pick up here. They may be able to get vengeance from the last series against Mongolia, and Mongolia is pretty weak here. I mean, guess who they're surrounded by? They do have Robert the Bruce. Wait, Robert the Bruce? What? Yeah, Robert the Bruce over here, who could be a bit scary, but they could also just be friendly together. And actually, let's see, are they friendly together? They're pretty neutral, but I feel like if they don't fight each other, India has a ton of room to grow, so I think that's going to be really positive for them. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Hope you guys are enjoying. If you are, drop a like, comment, let me know what you think, let me know who you think's going to win, and as always, hit the subscribe button, join the game comment, show your support. I'll see you guys later. Bye!